Hello, everyone. So, I wanted to give you some tips on raising young readers as somebody who's babysat a lot and has experience in, getting kids to fall in love with reading, getting kids interested in a book. I have a few tips, um, and that is one, figure out what illustrators or authors you notice your kids get excited about, and order more books from either that author or illustrator, because when it comes to kids, those pictures really actually do matter. The illustrations matter, especially like it gives your kids something to focus on. It keeps them interested with each turn of the page. My other tip is to find books that either have a movie version or a TV show, that you can compare the books to that your kids might already be familiar with. I grew up with autism, and this is um, one of the ways I fell in love with reading. Like, I loved Curious George. I love Strawberry Shortcake. A lot of the kids I babysit love Paw Patrol, and I do too. So I collect picture books. I've got a bunch. I love them. They were great when I learned to reread after my brain injury. They're great for helping me practice my speech. Um, but if you kind of know the character, you're more likely to fall in love with the story if you love the character. Um, and if you're familiar with the character, it kind of piques your interest more. Um, so like this is like a book of a bunch of Strawberry Shortcake stories that I thrifted. I love thrifting books. I think, if you're trying to get the kid interested in readers, bring them to thrift stores, bring them to bookstores, let them pick out the books that they're drawn to, let them be part of that process. And then the other thing I recommend is get books that pair with toys so that they can make the stories and the characters come alive. Read them the book while they're holding the toy. Read them the book and then afterwards have them act out the story with the toy, make it come to life. Like for this one, Thomas is scared of going over a bridge. You could read this and afterwards play with Thomas the Train toys with your kids, and maybe you don't have money for a whole train track. You just have like one Thomas the Train figurine, and you and your kid can build a little train track with building blocks and like use your imagination. You don't have to have like a bunch of name brand toys. But I definitely think companies that sell books are catching on to the fact that kids learn a lot through play, and if you pair the book with a toy or a figurine, they're much more interested, or a playmat or whatever. Because now they're making busy books where there is I have one right here to show you an example of. I love getting these busy books out with the kids I babysat. I got this one off Whatnot. So the lady, she's got this like taped. So I gotta, it's like brand new looking. Um, but there's like a playmat in these busy books. Um, I mean, you can make your own playmat and blocks and kind of use your imagination to make whatever scene you want. But these fold out on the floor, or could be like a backdrop or whatever. And then they have. I can fold this back up. My goodness, they are not making these easy for me to fold. At least not on this side. And I don't really. Okay, there we go. Now we're getting it. And then, of course, this has, not only does this have the playmat, it has dinosaurs, toy dinosaurs. You can get your own toy dinosaurs. Really, like, you don't have to buy a busy book with toys already made. This is just makes that concept easier is because you get the book, you get the playmat, you get the toys, less effort with these busy books. But you could get any dinosaur book and take out some dinosaur figurines and play with your kids and ask your kids which dinosaur each figurine looks like and see if they can kind of identify what dinosaur figurines. Like, I think most of us have had a toy T-Rex. You could have them try to match the T-Rex, hold the T-Rex as you read the book, maybe even get a dinosaur stuffed animal, whatever works for you. That is a huge tip of mine when raising readers. And think outside the box. Like I said, it doesn't have to be name brand or expensive toys. I happen to collect Mili mice, and I am a big rodent and mice fan. I'm like one of the few people in my family. I'm not scared of them. I actually like them. I had guinea pigs as pets. I would love to have had a pet mouse or rat. It just hasn't happened for me yet. I used to volunteer at the animal shelter. I've been thinking about filling out the form to like maybe foster rodents. I would love to do that. But I'm a huge mouse person. So I definitely recommend you take your kids' interest into account. If they are interested in train or trucks, read them a book to do with trucks. Read them a book to do with trains. I was a fan of mice, so my mom got me books that were mice themed. I was also big into fairy tales, so she got me fairy tale books. And I was like I'm a huge fan of Jan Brett's illustrations. I loved the Bernstein Bears, both the TV shows and the book. But like I said, I collect Mili mice. So when I read any of my mice books to the kids I babysat or to my nephew, I get to pair them with my Mili mice and let them play with the Mili mice as we're reading. Let them act out the story. Let them hold the mice. Like, this is the mouse in the book. This is the mouse from the book. Get creative. If you're reading a book about a cat, get a stuffed cat that they can, that looks like the cat in the book. Get creative, but definitely pair them with toys that your kid's gonna bring the story alive with. I think that so often we forget that our job is with reading is not just to teach reading. We need to teach kids, inspire them, teach them to imagine, use their imagination, to get creative. There's so much more to reading than just reading, and reading really is a foundation for so much knowledge in life. So I definitely think that's important to help kids fall in love with reading. But yeah, I got a huge Mili mouse collection. So I get out different mouse, and these are my, these books are about the mice. So that's one of the ways I like to get kids interested in reading.